Does an unfinished puzzle from Oliver Queen's past hold the power to defeat Amanda Waller and her army of Amazos? Well, let's hop into the pages of Green Arrow issue number 15. A tie into the events of Absolute Power and find out together, shall we? So then, as we joined the book, my jaw already hit the ground because Joshua Williamson actually ended up calling back to a piece of Green Arrow lore that I feel a lot of people have already forgotten. If you recall, during the Scott Snyder totality era of Justice League, John Jones the Martian Manhunter had gifted Green Arrow a mysterious box. John says that it was a weapon of incredible power that would be able to bring down the Justice League in case the worst should happen, and that only Green Arrow could be trusted with its stewardship. This was a big character beat for Oliver Queen, and then nothing came of it. Okay, well, not nothing. At the end of a previous Green Arrow run, he did open up the box and it looked to be empty. Well, it was empty, but then it glowed a little after he walked away. Basically, it was a ton of missed potential and a real anti-climax that has been driving me crazy for actual years. But leave it to Master of Continuity Joshua Williamson to not only pick up this hanging plot thread, but run with it too, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense. Oliver is working for Waller right now, categorizing and cataloging all of Hero Kind's most deadliest and powerful weapons, and yeah, whatever the box was supposed to be would certainly fall under that purview, right? Ollie calls for an evac, only to find out that his ride Bright is already busy duking it out with the Arrow family in the desert after their failed extraction of Dr. Ivo. We actually get a great little comedy beat where Roy and the others are falling to their deaths, but they manage to save themselves thanks to their handy-dandy parachute arrows, but Red Canary doesn't have one. Because unlike the rest, she's not actually an archer. In fact, it gets even funnier when you stop and consider that the assembled Arrow family is just that, a family with their own dysfunction and years worth of interpersonal issues, but Red Canary is literally just a Black Canary fan who ended up stumbling her way into this way bigger world. And I love that Joshua Williamson remembers that too and actually makes it part of the story. Now, it's not actually Dr. Ivo that Roy and the others have to deal with, it's actually his creation, the Tomorrow Woman. Ivo was helping to rebuild her, and now she's royally pissed off that the process was stopped halfway. She probably would have killed Arsenal too if not for Connor Hawke stepping on in and actually playing a really good Green Arrow by trying to appeal to Tomorrow Woman's own time as a member of the Justice League. In fact, Connor says, hey, we auditioned for the team around the same time. Ivo and Morrow might have built you to be evil, but time and time again, you've managed to overcome your programming. In fact, the secret to stopping Amanda Waller's Amazo army might very well exist inside your programming, meaning that you could be a big hero all over again if only you would give it a chance. Thankfully, that's one fire put out, but a whole raging inferno still to deal with. Bright managed to pick up Dr. Ivo, and he plans to take him to Gamora to stand before Amanda Waller, maybe to help out with the new Amazo army, or maybe just to be executed so he can't help anyone stop it ever. What's interesting too is that Ivo, much like Ollie before, actually admits that there's something familiar about Bright, but he just can't place it. And then he finds out that Bright is from the multiverse, and Ivo just ends up losing all interest, which I feel is a general sentiment a lot of people reading comics right now can relate to. Now, if you remember reading the last issue, Cheshire and her daughter Lian had actually managed to sneak away from the rest of the group. That means they're actually on board Bright's transport while everyone else is giving chase. Ivo tries his hardest to cut a deal with Cheshire, and I mean, hey, she is a mercenary most of the time, saying he'll pay her top dollar if she fights the Green Arrow family and gets him as far away from Waller as humanly possible. And to her daughter's shock and surprise, she actually agrees, which you have to wonder how serious she's being here, or if just old habits die really hard. Eventually, Arsenal and the rest of the Green Arrow family end up catching up, and a massive battle is had on the outside of Bright's craft. If the good guys want to get to the big boss, though, they're going to have to cut a path through all the rank-and-file Task Force 7 henchmen, which is easy enough. The big problem, though, is still very much Bright himself. Even though he's one guy, he's incredibly powerful, and worse still, he plays very, very dirty. In classic comic book supervillain fashion, as the comic reaches its big action-packed climax, Bright grabs both Cheshire and Lian and forces Arsenal to make a choice. One will live, one will die. Who will it be, your estranged wife or your long-lost daughter? Only you can decide, Roy Harper. In the end, though, Cheshire, never one to be a damsel in distress, ends up making the choice herself. Jade frees herself, meaning poor Lian is at the mercy of Bright. Before he can end up smashing her head in like a bright melon, though, help ends up coming in the most unexpected form. It would seem that as the comic comes to a close, Oliver Queen mean Green Arrow is not only back in the fight, but he's actively supporting his family all over again. But why now? What has changed, and what possibly has he been playing at this whole time? Well, I guess we're gonna have to read the next issue if we want to find out, won't we? And so that was Green Arrow issue number 15, everybody, and if you couldn't tell from my general enthusiasm and excitement, this has probably been one of my favorite Green Arrow stories in a hot minute. I'm absolutely positively over the moon about Joshua Williamson's use of continuity and tying in this bigger absolute power story to the forgotten, very literal mystery box from the Scott Snyder years of Justice League. He didn't have to do it, he could have done anything else, but it's clear that Joshua Williamson is a fan and he respects continuity. The good, the bad, and the forgotten more than just about anyone else. Throw in some great moments of characterization for Red Canary, a character who I feel was also kind of forgotten and lost in the shuffle, as well as building the mystery around Bright's true identity, and you have yourself one hell of a winning issue. Overall, I would give this one a very positive 8 out of 10. Great stuff, and I cannot wait for issue 16.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.